Hello, in this week's review, we have, I'm showing you right here a picture that I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with. The Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I just found this one photograph, and this is one of my favorite scenes, so I just want to show you to you guys. But what I want to show here is, guys, I'm looking again for anybody. I did this a few weeks ago, and I was showing you about the Haunted House Mystery Bank. I'm looking to see if anybody at all knows anybody who ordered this. We're looking for one that supposedly has a hand that comes out of the door, not the regular ghost everybody thinks it is. So this is not the Haunted House Mystery Bank. This is the Haunted House Bank that, as you guys know, was sold by Honor House in the 1960s. By 1967, 68, this ad was not in any comic book. So, you know, we're looking to see if anybody might have ordered it. As you guys could see, it says right here that right in this part right here, it says the house, where is it? The house shudders and quakes, and the horror hand sneaks out of the doorway and snatches the coin back into the door. Now, the size, when you look at the measurement, 7-inch by 7-inch by 9-inch deep, it tells you that unlike the one that has the ghost, which is an even square, this one is 9 inches deep. So it's kind of like a little rectangular. So there is a difference between that and the other one, but it is battery operated, as it says down here. Fiberboard, okay, it does say it's battery operated. It doesn't say it in this particular ad, but it does say it in other ads. Well, I don't see here anything for the battery, but anyway, it is battery operated. So if any of you guys have found it or can come across it, or anybody, just please send me an email ASAP, because it'll be great to know. And like I said, I know that it does exist. I've had 3 sources verify that to me in the past. Now, as you guys know, this is one of the original ads from the 6-foot Frankenstein poster. I've shown this many times. It was just there with the group now. What I'm reviewing this week is something that any mail order person would know. And now, I'm using the iPad today here because I kind of want to get the best possible way of me to show this. Now, what I'm holding here is the legendary Venus flytrap. Now, if you guys know, this Venus flytrap was sold probably by every single mail order company out there. Johnson Smith sold it, Honor House sold it. It was sold by many places in New Jersey. Now, as you guys could see here, the way this works is inside the mouth right here. This is what I'm using. Inside there are 3 little hair-like there's 3 little hairs inside. So the way it works is when a bug goes inside it, as you can see, I had it outside. So this particular thing here, see, it's sealed. There's actually a bug in there, and there's a couple that are sealed, which means they caught bugs. I used to sell this back in the early, well, when I ran the mail order ad with Lou Weiss and DC Comics in 1983, I used to sell them, and I would send them to people this big. And the way it was is because when you get this, they're packed with a kind of like an upside down cup on top. And what happens with that is that the upside down cup, you know, it would prevent the soil from going, because it kind of had like a little plastic lid covering the plant. So I was able to ship it in 8 by 8 inch boxes from the post office, priority mail. And I shipped quite a few. I shipped over 200-300 of these plants. And I used to, now the reason mine looks kind of like, I left it out in the sun. It might have been out there just a little too much. It's very hard to upkeep these plants, because back in the 70s, when they sold these plants, they sold you just the bulb. So you were supposed to plant it on peat moss. You can't use regular soil for this. It's very, very hard to upkeep this plant. You have to have them in the sun 24/7, and you basically have to be soaking it in water every day. But the sun was a little too strong, and I could see it kind of flan a little, but you could see there's a little mouth sprouting up here. Now, one thing I want to mention about the Venus flytrap, there's a crater in North Carolina that was caused, I don't know, millions of years ago, I guess. It's the only place in the entire planet where this plant grows. So this is native to North Carolina. You cannot find this plant in any other state. The thing with it is very easy to clone. So that's why you see them sold in almost every store and during Halloween time. But then again, this was a staple mail order product sold by many, many companies. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm putting right here to the right, you're probably seeing a video of how the plant actually works. I'm going to do myself, I'm going to use a little device here and try to see if I can activate one of the mouth of the plant. Like I said, it's fascinating. It was always advertised as the flesh-eating plant, and that's what I think why it did so well. This was the era when people were selling shrunken heads and the sort. So let's see right now if I can. Okay, we have here a trap, so I'm gonna try to touch the hairs inside the trap and see if it closes. There you go, you see? Look at those ferocious teeth or spikes. So now what it does is, if you, for example, right now, this plant right here, if you for any reason try right now, let's say it doesn't move or any movements inside, it's gonna open again in the morning, because it's going to feel, but once the creature, let's say the bug or the fly or anything is inside, you will be able to, it would move around the little hairs, and if it feels the hair, then what happens, it closes like this, as you see here. It releases some gastric juices it has within the plant and evaporates whatever it's in it, so that, not evaporates, but I'm saying it sucks up the juices, and that's how it gets its nutriments. Now, if you hold it a second, I got a little surprise. See, this is a surprise I have for you guys. I have right here a mosquito, the blood-sucking monster that they are. I'm gonna get a little magnifying glass here. Let me see if you could see it. See there? I got him. It's still kind of moving a little bit, and what I'm gonna do is, I was able to get them last night, and I stunned this one a little. You put them in the freezer and they kind of stun, but I have two more in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the Venus flytrap this monster, and I'm going to put him, let's find I think this one here, the big claw one here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put him in now notice how I'm going to feed him. I got the mosquito and we're putting in inside there. Now since he's there, obviously, he might be kind of dead and stuff. So we got to somehow let the Venus flytrap know that he's going to be there. And I need to use the little thing here to kind of tickle it inside a little bit, so that it stays inside with the... let me move it back and forth, like I said, because what it does is, if it doesn't feel by tomorrow, it doesn't feel the mosquito moving around, it's gonna, because the mosquito could be dead right now, it's not gonna release the gastric juices to eat. But as you can see, we fed the one Venus flytrap a mosquito, and it sure felt good because that sucker was bothering me all last night. See, if you look in there, let me see, I don't know if the magnifying glass, maybe, I'm trying to, let me see if I can do this here. Okay, let me see if we could see it in there. Nope. Hold on a second. No, he's in there though, but I don't know if the picture captures him there. But as you can see, we just fed a blood-sucking mosquito, the worst thing that's, I mean, I hate mosquitoes, and they're very, but anyway, we fed it to the plant, and as you can see, I'm shaking it back and forth so that the little hairs, the little triggers inside are triggered, the little hair-like follicles it has, and this way it's gonna suck the juice out of the mosquito. So it's in there. If you see closer, you can see it. You try to hold it steady, you see it right there to the left. And if I can point to it, it'll be right around this section there, see? So this is the famous Venus flytrap, and it's always been a staple mail order product throughout the 70s. And I was able to suck in all this bloodthirsty mosquitoes. So, okay, so keep looking. Now, as you guys could see here, I wanted to show you, this is where the Venus flytrap came in this plastic here. It's kind of pretty cool the way it's designed. But anyway, guys, I'm going to put the Venus flytrap to the side. And here is the new adventure we're doing, okay? Here's a bowl. Looks like a fish bowl, okay? I filled it with water. in all honesty, I'm gonna put a little bit more water on it. Give me a second. Okay, here you go. It's got more water. I think it's best, but here's what we're gonna be doing. And before I bring up that information, I want to show you guys, look up for this magic trick. I found it. It's a beautiful magic trick. It's actually a haunted house with a big giant rat outside, and a magician gets the skeleton hand that floats out of the door of the house, pets the rat, and it goes back in. But anyway, this is something I'm going to be listing on Etsy for you guys that are interested. This was kind of made by Chuck Caputo, and it's a really nice product. So it's going to be sold. It's only one, so I don't have like a group, but I just want to show you guys what it is. That's upcoming. Now, here is what I'm talking about. I am going to, for the next couple of weeks, put together and see if I can grow my very own sea monkeys. Now, you guys know the sea monkeys have always been a staple product of mail order. And as I said earlier with the Venus flytrap, anytime you saw the Venus flytrap, every comic book would also have a sea monkey in it. Now, I think I saw the mosquito was kind of moving in there. I forgot which. Okay, I think it's this trap here. But hold on a second. Where's the trap? Oh, there you go. I saw some movement, but that's good because you want the Venus flytrap to be able to dissolve him with the juices that it produces. But anyway, I'm going to open this now. What we're going to do today is we have the water, and let me just get it open here. Now, the sea monkeys are packed, and as you go, hey Mr. Todd Mitchin, I told you I was going to do this. He's the main CEO of the sea monkeys, so I'm going to do him a big favor here by being able to actually. Now, what it says here is, these instructions are they look pretty cool. So, I actually purchased these particular ones at Hobby Lobby, but when you read the instructions here, it tells you what to do. And the very first step, of course, which I pre-read this, is to add the water. It's the water purifier, and then we have to wait 24 hours, and then we could do part two. So we're going to do part one in the top there, step one, okay? So I am going to add the purifier to this water. Now, this water is already room temperature. It's tap water, so let me go. Here we go. This is that's step three, the food. Here we go, the famous water purifier. So let me get this open. Guys, one important thing you guys got to remember: I try to manufacture all my products all the time, and I do them within the United States. I don't really. Before I used to do some in China, way back in the '80s, but I've kind of stopped. I mean, the prices that you save is a lot of money, but it's let's get stuff done in America. That's what we're trying to achieve here. Our dependence in China is not that great, especially with the tariffs and stuff. But it's just better for us to be able to produce things locally like they used to back in the. Now, having a little tough time here opening the bag here. Okay, now here you go. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add the water purifier, which is step one, into the water. Okay. Make sure I empty the entire packet. Okay, so there you go. We've emptied the entire packet. Now, every time I've tried to put together sea monkeys, I've been successful in the past. But for some reason, my wife one time thought it was funny. She actually knocked down my sea monkeys. And I said, wow, they're growing. But then all of a sudden they disappeared, and nobody told me that they kept filling it with water for me, so I wouldn't notice. But anyway, we're going to stir it here with the stick that I have. And, okay, make sure that it's nice and stirred. Okay, there you go. So now what we're going to do, the next step is we're going to keep this for 24 hours. And then when I film next week's episode, I'll empty the second part. And then, of course, I'm going to probably film them tomorrow so it'll be done in advance. But you will see, and then we'll keep an eye on each and every week to see how the sea monkeys grow. The idea is that I you know, I filled it, like I said, 3/4, and you will be able to see the little sea monkeys travel, because I've done it before. They're awesome things. Of course, they don't look anything what they have here. I mean, because when you look at the picture here, and I believe this picture here is designed by Todd Mitchin. I kind of, you know, recognize this artwork a little bit over the original artwork from the sea monkeys. But guys, here is the little, see, actually there's a picture here what they actually will look like. They're actually brine shrimp. Sea monkeys, believe it or not, if you go to a big fish store and you go in the fish store and you tell them, do you have any live brine shrimp? You might be able for $1 to get fully grown sea monkeys. I didn't know that till I was, you know, a little older, when I was like maybe 9 or 10, that I found out that for 50 cents in the local fish store, I was able to buy in New York City, where I grew up, sea monkeys. So, okay, guys, we got the water going. The next thing we'll do is we'll add the eggs, which is step 2 right here. And then, of course, the step 3 is, I think you do that together with step 2, is you add the growth food. And, I mean, you feed them once every 2 weeks or so. Sea monkeys are very easy to maintain. And then I'll show you guys what tricks they do and what they were very famous in the ads where they said they follow a light and all that. I'll explain to you how that works in the next episode. Today I'm not going to review any comics. What I'm going to do, or any catalogs, I'm going to show a short video of my collection that I had. This video is like approximately 5 years old, but I kind of laid out a lot of my collection back then, and you guys can get an idea of, you know, some of the items, because of course that's not all the items. Right now here I'm showing a part of the collection that I used to have when I had it over in my house. Of course, I wound up moving this entire collection to my storage facility. As you can see right here, this robot that you're seeing right above the Hypnospecs, that was made by me, by Dr. Saab, a good friend of mine. I can't really give his real name, but he is an electronic engineer. And he actually had that robot 3D printed, which is based on the 7-foot robot monster plans that I was looking for years and years. If you look over here, you'll see the big ad there with the Polaris sub and the monster-sized monsters. I blew that up actually one time to almost 8 feet tall. I sold it to somebody. I'm not sure who bought it, but you know, that's a beautiful ad, and who doesn't remember that? Over here, if you guys look, there's a lot of my TV magic sets, original magic sets, and some of the magic sets I have. And of course, all those catalogs and books there are the different catalogs I've had for the years. And inside this display case, if you notice when you look down, I have most of the Haunted House Mystery Banks. As I said in the beginning of the show there, this Haunted House Mystery Bank is actually, you know, I have some of them, if you could see, they're missing the bottom part because I'm working on them. And I have about 8 or 9 of those. And here's a small Venus flytrap that you can see there. The thing with those, you know, I was saying with the bank, it's not the bank that we're looking at from Johnson Smith. So, not Johnson Smith, the bank from Honor House. You know, we're just hoping that somebody out there might have a relative, maybe their grandparents or somebody, who ordered the bank and can give me a little bit more insight on it. I'm going to continue to let you guys see this here. I'm not going to have any music or anything in the background, because every time you upload music, you're going to have a problem with the YouTube, where they might clip it back and say it's copyrighted. It's really weird the way YouTube makes you, because you can have, for example, one particular platform such as Instagram or something let you use music, and then if you copy the video onto YouTube, there's a problem. Okay, if you guys see here, as we're going down the hallway here, I'm showing some of the original board games, and onto the right there, you're going to see a lot of DVDs, you know, which is part of my collection. Over here, where you guys see where the DVDs are, there is, which you're about to see in a second. Because of course I'm just talking over the video that was pre-recorded, and I'm trying to, you know, guide you through it. But there is a big ship wheel, a steering wheel for a ship. I actually passed it already, but the steering wheel of the ship is an original 1885 from a Chinese junk. Junk, I think it's called, if I'm correct. And that's an original. That was given to me by a good friend of mine, and she paid over $700 for it when she got it. Over here, you could see my collection of some of my robots. Over here, this was my office. In the back there, that Star Trek Starlog magazine is signed by Leonard Nimoy. And I also had William Shatner sign it. It's on the back of it. I wish when I find it, I'm actually going to show it to you guys. In the future, I have a pirate ghost ship there, and that Sarah Karloff signed that big Frankenstein poster there. Over here are some of my Aurora kits. This Aurora Dracula right here, that's a specialty hand-drawn for me. That cost me over $350 to have it airbrushed. It's a phenomenal job, and but again, I'm going here through a collection that I had, and I had it, displayed in the basement of my house. And over here, as you could see, I just switched to go the opposite way. I'm going now towards the outside. And if you see, as we're going down, you could see all the collectibles I have. Again, they're all in boxes. I just laid out kind of like a walkway that was really cool. And you could see some of the old magic sets again there, see? But now we're going to turn the corner. And as we turn the corner, you will see, another part of the vast collection I have. Over there, that big sign in the top there, Spooky Times. Because see, over here, as we turn the corner, you will notice there's a vending machine on the left that we passed. That was from the magic shop I had back in 1989. There's a Nixon bobblehead right there. We have a lot of the original model kits here. Of course, my collection varies. It has a little bit of everything. And, that's Fred Astaire there in that particular model. Not a model. It's one of those tin litho models from the 1950s. And, of course, the electronic whoopee cushion. And over here, I have a lot of my picture frames that I've had in my collection. Why do I collect picture frames? Because a lot of times, I buy them and see if there's anything behind them and stuff. Like, my wife also buys them because she'll put them in display in the house. And then it winds up in my storage somehow. Here is a rad robot. And I think I'm going to be going through it right there. See it right there on the box. There's two of them. That's the third version of it. The original Rad Robot was different, and then they made two more versions. This particular one that we just passed is supposed to talk. See, we have there some of the Hot Wheels. This was a big pterodactyl kite that I used to sell in my magic shop. That's an original model up there from the 1950s. A lot of the Halloween products you see there. This is the steel safe. I believe that's the one that Johnson Smith used to sell. And that steel safe, what you do, what about this? You guys remember that reel-to-reel, the old film projectors that were desktop that you could watch it in your, and that up there that you see towards the ceiling is a treasure, one of those Geiger counters for treasure finding when you go to the beach. So you were going over all the stuff. And again, there's the Rad Robots. And see, I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to talk as I'm looking at the video here because it was recorded about a year or so ago, actually 2 or 3 years ago, really. But I'm showing so that you guys get an idea of some of the stuff that I have in my collection. While I had this, I do have a storage at this moment. At this moment, meaning at the time of this video, that was 10 by 15 feet. And the storage showed, it was filled to the very top. So I could only fit so much. This basement was 38 feet by 36 feet wide. And it was very, very hard. In there, as you could see, are all the really rare posters. Crossfire. You guys remember that board game? It was similar to, what do you call it? That gunfight at OK Corral. But it used a little round thing with a steel ball in the middle. You guys saw one of my life-size mannequins in the back right there. My skeleton that's hanging up there that says, "Help, help, let me out." Now, in the room back there, if you guys look to the right, there's a robot right there. Oh, we missed it. I thought I was going to show more of it. Let me see if when I turn around, it actually shows more of that robot. A friend of mine, the guy who actually gave me the Mark, his name is Mark, I'm not going to say it, but the guy who I acquired the robot plans from, he was telling me that that robot that I have right there is going for about $300-400. I didn't even know. I actually never opened it out of the box. So as you guys can see, I got up there in the shelf in the back there are 2 smoking spacemans. Those are tin toy reproductions. There you have actually 2 versions of Rad Robot, but those were opened. The one that has the Venom mask is the second version. And you can see, guys, see I have a plane up there. That's actually a model plane that was given out to the people who worked at the airport for that particular company. I didn't see the company, but I know my cousin was one of them, so he gave it to me as a gift. Really cool plane. But guys, now I'm getting towards the end of the video, and I will tell you guys that I hope you tune in each and every week as I show you how the sea monkeys are growing, and maybe some of you guys can get your own sea monkeys. Eventually, I might even start selling them again. But anyway, having said that, till next week, thank you.